Hi, Michael here. That's something that I haven't really done before, so it's going to be my first ever StarCraft build guide. And this is a diamond guide, so this should work up until Diamond 1, I guess, maybe even until all Masters. So this guide is based on two assumptions. First of all, your enemy is playing, or opponent is playing Protoss. And the other one is that you actually can capitalize on their mistakes, right? Which about 90% of the Protoss players in this MMR will make. This is a build in which you go build your pylon, and you basically go to the enemy base from there, and you are trying to actually get their gas, right? The general opener is very standard, so you just, you go pylon, gateway, chrono boost, and then you get gas when you feel you have enough minerals to kind of keep making probes. See, I take the gas here, but the keystone, like the keystone of this build is basically going to enemy base with your probe, knowing which of your opponents is going to be Protoss, which I know because my ally has scouted this, I think, or it was just blind luck here, and just taking their gas, which I do here successfully. And this basically kind of usually should throw your opponent off guard. It should also disable a couple of builds that would be otherwise quite dangerous, like, this aggressive Stalker openers, or Robo opener, maybe like very, very delayed as well by this. As target opener is just off the cards. You can see they just not gonna be able to afford a Stargate ever with this start. So that's the first part of the plan, right? You just go to their base, you steal their gas. What you want to do now is let's just follow my probe here. It's actually being followed by the enemy probe all across the map. So what I want to do here is actually to send another probe to set up the proxy. Setting up a proxy, this is a Stargate build, so setting up a proxy means that you can actually safely do this without being scouted, right? So your opponent won't know what's going to happen to them. They won't build a shield battery here. They won't have the pylon ready most of the time. Again, this is low MMR, so just keep this in mind, right? People just generally speaking don't think of possible enemy openers usually. So this build will most certainly work up until Diamond 1. That's what I'm very confident in. I'll show you my win rate with it in a second, but generally speaking, it's a very, very solid build. So you see the Zerg's build, I mean this Protoss's build is very much in this array right now, whereas my Stargate is already going up in here. So the general premise here in 2v2 anyway is that you want to expand quite soon most of the time if you kind of can judge that they're not doing something really aggressive, and then just set up for defense. So what I'm doing here is that they're very much focused on defending this. I know that they've made a zealot, so they can't really do anything super aggressive to me from now. Um, and they usually don't really do anything really special here. So my opener here is a Stargate, and the second I finish the Stargate, I start an Oracle, I chrono boosted, and I set the rally point to like nearby their base. I set my proxy here. I like this spot because people usually don't scout it, even if they feel something is off. So I know you can go here if you want. You can just go next to their base. Just that sometimes Zerg will send an overload or this way, and then you'll be exposed very quickly, and they'll be ready to kind of get your Oracle intercepted. So you can see here, at the same time, I'm actually building a robo facility, and I'm expanding, and I'm probing pretty hard. And the Oracle actually goes in at quite an early timing of 350. Could have been like 10 seconds sooner, actually. Usually this is 10 seconds sooner. I think I was a bit late with the pylon there, because they were following my probe. So you see this is what happens when an Oracle gets at an off timing into the enemy base. They just don't notice this, so they don't even move their probes. Sometimes they will, so they lose like 5 or 6. This guy loses like 17 probes here, and yeah, 17 kills on the Oracle. And the Oracle goes out of the base. So this is the good opener. That's probably the best I can hope for. This is usually not what happens. People have a Stalker in here or something. What you do is, like, once your first Oracle finishes, you send your second one, you make your second one, and then you send the second one in again to kind of finish the job, right? Usually it doesn't go this well, right? Usually they'll have a Stalker in the base or something. This guy doesn't have it, so I just have the field day in here. You can see that across the board I'm actually building an Immortal. That's like another part of this plan, because they'll sometimes do something aggressive here. I have a Stalker ready to defend if anything would be happening, and I do have an Immortal on the way. So yeah, that's basically this. If I don't see any Stalkers in the enemy base, I'm kind of usually getting suspicious. They might be kind of trying to attack me. But I saw the number of pylons here. It was like kind of they were not proxying me or anything. And my Zerg was keeping them busy, right? This is very good when you have an aggressive ally to kind of go together with this. Because this means like the enemy attention is going to be diverted, so this Zerg is doing glorious job here. I wait for energy with my oracles, see, like I get to about 50 and I go again. Now I assume that they will have something here, but you know, if you kind of micro quickly, you can just take those 2 kills very fast. You know, I activate my pulsar beam. I take 2 oracle. I mean, I get 2 kills in the probes here, and I go to the expansion. I see there's a stalker here, but you know, one stalker isn't really going to harm me too much. So I could have kind of saved this guy. I think I could have done this, but I get like all those kills. This is like full cleanup, right? Like 9 kills plus. This is like what 32, 31 kills on the probes. And I stopped making oracles at this point. Obviously, you can see the second thing I got from my robo was the observer, and this is to prevent this basically from happening. Right? You don't want the DTs running rampant in your base. So the oracle, the observer will, generally speaking, prevent this. This is why I opened robo later on. So I go oracle. Then when I can just kind of produce robo and keep making oracles, I go robo. I don't think they can hit you with DT very early on if you steal their gas. So um, you know, the observer can come late unless you're playing against 2 Protosses, but then you're usually getting cannon rush anyway, so that kind of doesn't apply. You know, this is it for the build. You know, they just left the game because this guy had no eco, and my ally made short work of this guy here. So yeah, I hope this was useful to you. This is again a low MMR build, so it shouldn't probably work in the like high masters or above. But for 2v2, for having fun with 2v2, for like getting those wins on the board and like practicing, this works very very well. Now, if provided your opponent actually does defend this, if they might just lose like 3-4 probes in the first oracle, then they'll probably lose like 3-4-5 if they're kind of decent. On the second run with double oracles, then this means that you should probably be able to macro up from here, like doing the damage of 10 probes without generally speaking losing too much, because the counterattacks are non-existent if you kill this many probes, usually anyway. This means that you can take your third very early on and just continue playing from here. So yeah, this is it basically for the guide, right? You can see I'm making like a lot of immortals here. I have a couple of gateways just in case, but this is basically over from this point. If the game isn't over, you can basically just expand here and just build up the solid economy. You see I got the Forge +1 going already, so that's and a Twilight with charge. So you can usually just finish the job from here. Just take a third quickly, get some extra probes, and go across the board to finish the game. And this is it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll just quickly advertise my channel while showing you what the win rate looks like with this build for me. So I post a lot of videos on RPGs and strategies, so if you enjoy this sort of stuff, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, to like and comment below the video whether if you do or you don't like the build. And now have a look at the win rate just very quickly. Looks like this, generally speaking. It's not like this all the time, obviously. Mind you, I'm not smurfing, it's just a general normal account I'm using right now. I don't play 1v1 too much. I used to be Diamond 1v1, but in 2v2 I'm about Diamond 1 with 3.8k MMR, which is by no means impressive, but it kind of shows that this build doesn't quite require too much skill to handle, I guess. Just some practice with the timings, and this is it. So thank you for watching. See you around. Bye.